coming to you live from the Island of Truth with your host, Cole Dodson.
Coming to you live, coast to coast, border to border, and worldwide. You're watching the Pine Island Live Show. Cole Dodson riding shotgun with Mr. Sir Jake Ambrose, all the way up live from the great state of Ohio. And we are opening up tonight with some huge breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is in flames. 2026 starting off red hot. We've got massive protests in Minneapolis right now following the shooting that occurred earlier today involving an ICE agent and a 37-year-old left-wing protester. We're going to go ahead and pull up some video, and then we'll also get Jake's commentary reaction. But not only that, we've got a lot of news to cover. Venezuela, things are getting real exciting there. We had the strikes. Now we got the oil situation. What's Russia and China going to do? We'll analyze that. And not only that, but we've got all of this Somali fraud. It's nuts. It's crazy. People are pissed off about it. And one of the hot zones just so happens to be Columbus, Ohio. And who better to ask than good old Jaco? So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get right hot into the news tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to go ahead and show you the live footage coming out of the federal courthouse in Minneapolis, where protesters are actively trying to break in to the federal courthouse in Minneapolis following the shooting of the left-wing protester caused by the ICE agent. And we'll also have your analysis on that very shortly. But when you look at this video, Jake, it begs the question, what do these people do for a job? I mean,
honestly, I don't think they have a job. I think they probably just sit around all day and think about what gender they're going to choose for the day. Their main job is probably putting tampons in bathrooms, in men's bathrooms. Who knows? We got a lot of freaks here.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like we got a lot of bums, a lot of people that, don't want to do anything. They are protesters for a hire. And we saw that a lot last year during the LA riots. We saw the Craigslist ads. You saw it here, folks. Craigslist ads of people saying, big protest, no kings, 2024, 2025, come on out. We don't have kings in the country, and we'll pay $250 to come out here and protest for the day. I mean, this is just absolutely absurd. But
that's real. I've seen it firsthand. So when I was in DC for the inauguration, I went up to a bus because I was filming there. So I went up to a bus. There was a group of people lined up right on the street. I walk over, a bunch of like Biden signs, all that shit. Walk over and try to talk to them. They all just pour straight into the bus. And they wouldn't even talk to me. It was insane.
By the busloads, the videos are everywhere. These people literally think that we're just straight up, have blinders over our eyes, that we're just completely oblivious. So, and unfortunately, it seems like this protester this morning, she was a little bit oblivious to how ICE was going to respond to her trying to pull away. Let's go ahead and show you guys a video of what happened earlier this morning in Minneapolis, and we'll kind of do a little commentary on top of that overall. So as we can see here, we got the ICE agents. They're getting blocked by this protester. They're telling her to move out of the way, and they're saying, all right, get out of the car. Now she's trying to get away, and all of a sudden, boom, boom, right there.
Lit up.
Live footage won't find anywhere else, folks.
He said, you're done.
Well, the thing is that when you look at all the different angles, so this is angle number 2 here, and obviously we're keeping the audio muted so we can do a little commentary and stuff over it. Like, you obviously see they're trying to give instructions and tell her to get out of the vehicle, but then all of a sudden she takes off, and you got, if I can pause it right there, you got this guy who was essentially standing in front of the vehicle. And I mean, I'll tell you what, his quick draw reaction time, it's stellar. But on the other hand,
he's been in the range.
Yeah, and I think, the only thing there is that he might get a wrongful death suit or the government might get a wrongful death suit on that, just because, I mean, it does have the appearance of excessive use of force.
Yeah. Yeah. When I saw it at first, I was like, hell yeah, we're showing them the firepower. We're putting these liberals down. And then I saw it. I was like, if I was in this situation, I really would have just juked out, hit him with the 1-2, hopped in the car, chased her down, threw her in handcuffs. Like, I mean, shit. But yeah, you hate, I mean, you love to see it, but you hate to see it.
Mm-hmm. So that's that. We got the slow motion right here, so that way there's no confusion. And I'll go and pop that up right there. So here's a slow motion. They're obviously waving to get her out of the car, and then as she drives forward, whoa, he's already drawn. When she's trying to turn away, he's already drawn. And then, I mean, it was a clean shot. I mean, really, truly.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah, like realistically, it's not like he was right in the middle of the hood. Like, he could have jumped out of the way. He could have jumped out of the way and not shot her. So, I mean, it's just like, she's playing with fire.
Yeah, and here's the I mean, it was about as clean of a shot as it can get.
Yeah.
I think it was as clean of a shot as it get. I mean, you know, it just happened. I mean, it happened so fast. But you know, when we analyze the video, and I think it's going to come out later on that, you know, there might have been an excessive use of force being used here. So now here's the aftermath. You ready for this, Jake? Get ready. They wasted no time going out there protesting. Let's take a look at this, folks, on Links 1. Take a look.
Uh-oh.
Where did all these people come from?
Oh, I saw that. I saw that clip where the guy, you got pepper sprayed right in the face.
Kill someone else!
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, get the umbrella out of the way.
They came prepared.
Well, I mean, first off, they got there so fast. That was taken probably 30 minutes after the original incident occurred. 30 minutes.
What time did that happen?
That would have been sometime around, I want to say, if I got the timestamp correct, that would have been around 11 a.m. or noon Central Time.
Do these people not have jobs?
This was about 12:31. I mean, this literally happened like almost immediately after.
Yeah, what the hell?
So here's more out of Minneapolis. This is as the day continued, more continued to flood into the zone. And folks, when I say that, like, you know, they have methods of importing people left, right, and center from God knows where. It is just absolutely got to give credit where due. I mean, they have good resourcefulness and mobility, but they're also well funded.
Okay, it looks like they are throwing snowballs as the officers are leaving. So again, I believe it was.
We're going to throw snowballs.
Officers who were leaving that scene. Hennepin County telling us that their sheriff's deputies have not been on that scene, but it looks like as officers are leaving the scene, just having some protesters or bystanders, agitators throwing some snowballs at them as they leave. We saw this earlier.
We did. Well. Yep, we saw this exact thing earlier, and this was targeted toward ICE agents at that particular time. But now, as you mentioned, this is MPD, BCA was on scene, the sheriff's department as well. And as this street is opening up here, you can see a lot of these protesters, these people in the community responding to this. And now we're having an aerial view here of what we have been seeing, what we did see earlier, and now it's once again you can see them throwing some of those snowballs at those vehicles, some of which we can see have just drove off as well.
Yeah.
Snowballs. Snowballs.
So scary.
Well, not only that, but Nick Sorter came out later on when this video was posted that the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office was actually given a stand down order to not contain. They were told not to contain that.
Really?
Like, those cops were actually like, that was a sheriff's office on the way out.
I mean, they really just want to incite all the chaos possible. They want it to get out of hand as much as possible.
Yeah, I can see that. Here's the latest statement from Tricia McLaughlin, the DHS spokesperson. Today, ICE officers in Minneapolis were conducting targeted operation when rioters began blocking ICE officers, and one of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them, an act of domestic terrorism. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, the lives of his fellow law enforcement, and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. He used his training and saved his own life, and that's how his fellow and that of his fellow officers. Excuse me. The alleged perpetrator was hit and is deceased. The ICE officers who were hurt are expected to make full recoveries. I didn't know there was any ICE officers that got hurt, but okay.
Can I read the next paragraph?
Go ahead.
This is the direct consequence of constant attacks and demonization of our officers by sanctuary politicians who fuel and encourage rampant assaults on our law enforcement. These men and women who are simply enforcing the law on the books are facing a 1,300% increase in assaults against them and an 8,000% increase in deaths. This is an evolving situation, and we will give the public more information as soon as it becomes available.
Nice.
Wow.
I didn't know any ICE officers got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like the only person that got hurt was a protester.
I mean, the liberals just need to stop. We don't want these people here. We got to kick them out. Like, why? These are the people starting crimes. This is the crime problem. Kick them out.
Well, and
Very
not only
simple.
that, but the thing is that, you know, if there's one thing the liberals are just going to have to let go of and give up on, it's immigration. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Because like the current immigration situation that we have, and the one that especially we had under Biden, it was completely unsustainable. I mean, we're literally prioritizing illegals over American citizens, and that's not only not right, but I mean, if we're not taking care of our own population, then I mean, what's the point of having a country?
Yeah. If you're not going to enforce your border and protect your people, what are you doing? What is the government there for? We're letting these people in, taking our houses, giving us crime. Like, it's literally not even beneficial at all to us. And then really it all comes down to the votes. They just want the votes.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course,
that's all it is.
When you got all these Smartmatic machines running around, Smartmatic and Dominion machines and stuff, you know, there have been issues in the past. It's not good. I mean, but the other issue when you think about the immigration situation is the redistricting, congressional apportionment. It's more seats in the House for the Democrats, really and truly. So
all they want. They don't care about the people.
Yeah,
that's all they want it for.
Yeah, no, it's all about power. So, anyways, listen to this crap. So Jacob Fry came out later in the day talking about how ICE needs to get the fuck out of Minnesota, and he's over here siding with the terrorists and having this, you know, completely soy boy emotional response, totally not factoring in the fact that, you know, she was obstructing federal law enforcement from conducting, you know, immigration enforcement operations in the city. And so listen to this retard here on Links 3.
collectively will do everything possible to get to the bottom of this, to get justice, and to make sure that there is an investigation that is conducted in full. But what we do know is that a 37-year-old woman is dead and that she was shot by ICE. We've dreaded this moment since the early stages of this ICE presence in Minneapolis. Not only is this a concern that we've had internally, we've been talking about it. They are not here to cause safety in this city. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people. So they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is a bullet. This was an agent recklessly using power.
Your reaction.
So first off, it was hard to pay attention to this guy. I just wanted to punch him in the face. He just looks like such a wimp. And then all I could look at was the bro. Sorry about that. All I could pay attention to there was the blonde sign language lady.
Oh, like, yes. She looked like a Twilight Zone.
She looked retarded. I don't know what she was doing.
she looked like a Twilight Zone.
Just hire the most oddly looking. That's what we get. That's DEI right there. But I don't know. I think from his remarks, they're dreading this moment so hard, but they're also inciting it. They're telling everybody to fight back against ICE. It's the Gestapo. Like, no, how about you just let them kick out the people that are causing crime in your community?
Well, and the thing is that they've been supercharging this for the past year. I mean, with all these No Kings protests, telling everybody that, oh, you're ICE not welcome. I mean, they've been building this up.
Yeah.
Just for a George Floyd moment. They missed their protest from 2020. They loved being out there causing chaos and destruction and mayhem. They missed it.
If anything, these politicians, they were praying for something like this to happen. They want this to happen. That way they can really kick it into full gear. So,
well, not only that, but the thing is that this is essentially a trap for Trump. That's what this is. Like, because we see the poll numbers, we see the way things are going, and we see that Trump is underwater. The Republican Party is underwater. We're going to get blown out in the midterms of 2026. Make no mistake about it. I mean, unless they somehow turn it around and they get the economy fixed, they start really turning up the heat on the deportations and really start making some mass deep state arrests. Unless they really, go whole hog on that, then unfortunately we're poised to get blown out in the 2026 midterm by the Democrats. And the first thing they're going to do is they're going to impeach him. They've already got Venezuela cooked up. They've got these Iran strikes as well for Trump not requesting congressional, approval on it. And not only that, but the mass deportation mess that, has been created by ICE. When you mix that in, I mean, it seems like they have a pretty serious little case. And it's not a matter of if at this point, it's a matter of when, unless we turn it around. They have a pretty, compelling case to, launch an impeachment trial against him, it seems like.
Yeah.
And
the only thing with that, like, I don't even know. Yeah, keep going. That it's just bull. Like, if they try to go to impeach him again, it's going to be like, what are you guys doing here? We've already tried to do this multiple times. Like, I don't know. I don't think that would be a good look for the Democrats. It would, like, for their base, that's what they want to see, but it's just gonna be a bunch of bullshit.
Mhm. Yeah, well, here's the thing: is that I mean, the Republicans and Trump, especially, they're not making the case. They're not making the case. They're like, vote for us in 2026, or else they're going to impeach me. Okay, well, what have you done for us?
Yeah.
What have you done for us? Well, I mean, again, where's Alejandro Mayorkas's indictment? They've already botched James Comey's indictment. They botched Letitia James. John Brennan, former CIA director. What about him? I mean, got to deliver.
Yeah, that's what we want. We're sick and tired of it, hearing it. We've been hearing the same shit for the past, like, 8-12 years. Like, we're going to go in, we're going to destroy the deep state, and then nothing happens. Like, we just want people, our generation, we're getting sick and tired of it. We want action. We want tar and feathering. We want public hangings of corrupt officials. We're sick and tired of it.
And it's the right thing to do. I mean, this is not something that's just, completely out of line. This is the right thing to do. It's the just thing to do.
It's what's always happened throughout history. We're the only ones that have ever let something like this drag on this long. Like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, anyways, back to the subject matter at hand, because I'm starting to run a little long here. So here's a person that was unfortunately taken out by ICE. 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good has been identified as a woman shot by ICE. And of course, when we look at the profile, there's a rainbow flag. Of course. I mean, can't miss it.
Of course.
They just make themselves so obvious.
She's honestly kind of a cutie, though. If she was a conservative, she could be a cutie. But not with that purple hair. And not that bio.
That is true. I mean, it's a shame what they do to themselves. I mean, just the mutilation is just absolutely abhorrent.
Like, just let me make myself look as ugly as possible for my wife. My wife will love this.
Yeah. That I forgot that came out too in the intel reports. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz issues a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. I feel your anger. I'm angry too. Let's listen to this guy.
Oh my goodness. I'm angry too.
Say this. I feel your anger. I'm angry. They want a show. We can't give it to them. We cannot. If you protest and express your First Amendment rights, please do so peacefully, as you always do.
As you always do.
The hearts and minds of the people in this state are on our side. To Americans, I ask you this: please stand with Minneapolis. To Minnesotans, know that our administration is going to stop at nothing to seek accountability and justice. The State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension are working on the investigation. We have activated the State Emergency Operations Center. State Patrol and Minnesota National Guard leadership is connected with the Minneapolis Police Department, the St. Paul Police Department, Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, the DNR, and Minnesota's Homeland Security and Emergency Management. We have activated dozens of members of the State Patrol's mobile response team. And from here on, I have a very simple message.
So emotional.
We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. There's nothing more important than Minnesotan safety. I've issued a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops. They're teachers in your community. They're business owners. They're construction professionals. They are Minnesotans. Minnesota will not allow our community to be used as a prop in a national political fight. We will not take the bait. We will continue to update you, Minnesota, as we get more information. Now I'd like to turn it over to Commissioner Bob Jacobson of the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
Oh, did you hear that?
Let me not get any questions. No questions.
No questions. Well, I mean, okay, couple points here. So the one thing we did hear him say was the warning order, which the way he insinuated it was that I'm going to order the Minnesota National Guard to engage ICE and the federal assets that are in Minnesota. That's civil war.
Yeah.
that's literally
Legit.
civil war. And then he's like, "Oh, make sure you go out there and protest peacefully." When have they ever protested peacefully?
I mean, you wouldn't classify as burning a city down as peaceful. I mean, it's like mostly peaceful.
Well, I mean, they said that George Floyd was mostly peaceful.
Yeah,
But, I mean, what do I know? I'm
just some fires and burnt buildings.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, they're like, "Oh, don't worry, insurance will take care of that."
It could be worse.
Bless. Yeah.
The entire city is burned down, but it could be worse.
Well, here's a little Timmy. I think he was taking some questions. This might have been a later press conference here, talking about how Americans need to take to the streets. Watch this crap.
Look, and I understand the uniqueness of this moment in this week, following this week, seeing what's happening in the backdrop of a show hearing in DC. My job is to govern, and my job is to see what the facts are. This happened a couple of hours ago, and we're already pitting American against American. All of you saw a video in your eyes. We have a chaotic situation caused by the largest deployment in American history of federal agents into a community with no communication to locals. We had a chaotic situation where an individual is in their car, shot and killed. And so, look, I want to be very cautious here, because Donald Trump will make this about me. He will make this about politics. This is about public safety, and this is about normalcy. To Americans who are watching this, if you're in Portland or you're in LA or you're in Chicago or you're wherever they're coming next, stand with us. Stand with us against this. This was so preventable, so unnecessary, and I don't know. I hope maybe we're at the McCarthy moment. Do you have no decency? Do you have no decency? We have someone dead in their car for no reason whatsoever, and I don't want to be right about this, but I said if they do this, they're going to create a chaotic situation where someone innocent's going to get killed, and they did it. And now we hear more political rhetoric. Enough is enough. And so to Minnesotans, don't take the bait. Do not take the bait. Do not allow them to deploy federal troops into here. Do not allow them to invoke the Insurrection Act. Do not allow them to declare martial law. Do not allow them to lie about the security and the decency of this state. And let's let this investigation play itself out. Let's make sure we protect our neighbors. I encourage you to use your First Amendment rights and all of your constitutional rights, but do so in a peaceful manner. We'll gather back with you as soon as we gather more information that needs to be put out. But again, stay safe, Minnesotans, and we'll be back with you.
I can't take that guy serious.
Well, I mean, he literally looks he literally looks like, you know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no.
Cole, I think I have a call in here. Can I accept super quick?
Sure.
Let's see. Hello?
I could.
I'd like to make a call, and I'd like to talk to Cole about something that I quite literally don't feel right about.
What's that?
Can you hear me, buddy?
I can hear.
Cole, I think you're a racist piece of shit, man. Fuck you.
What are you, some damn liberal?
I am a liberal. Is something wrong with that?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
You're a fucking dweeb.
Oh, yeah, buddy? I guess you won't say that to my face.
I guarantee you I would, boy. I've said it to a lot of liberals' faces, and they ain't never did shit.
My daddy would beat your ass.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Daddy.
I bet.
Yeah. My dad knows karate and he kickboxes. What does your dad know? Hey, Cole, I'd fuck you up too, man.
Hey, it doesn't matter what my dad knows, buddy. I got a gun, and I know how to use it.
Oh, hey, we're on YouTube now. Come on.
That's the damn problem. That's the fucking real problem here, boys. Come on now. Quit
The
being
real
biased
problem.
asshole.
Cole, tell this guy to shut the hell up.
Hey, fuck you,
Hey,
Cole.
shut up.
You better not say anything, buddy.
All right, shut up.
Oh,
Bye. What the? Been
my
getting
phone
spam
been
calls.
going off. No caller ID. I already know he's calling me.
Are you getting the same thing? Me as well.
Yeah. For those that don't know or that don't know the little inside scoop, so like essentially Jake is part of the Snarp group, which I'm cool with, you know, and I mean I've been friends with them for a long fucking time. But like, so like, you know, if we get some spam calls and stuff, it's definitely from them. They're friends of the show. We like it, you know, a little levity in a tense situation. So, but in the meantime, back to some serious nature, folks. We actually have some breaking news coming in. Stand by. I'm going to go ahead and try to get it pulled up here in about 30 seconds if I can get that running here. While I'm waiting on that, let's go ahead and get to this next video of Minneapolis residents, quote unquote, getting a little frisky with ICE agents. Take a look at this. Ooh.
You are all terrible. Use that Go home! Believe me. I live here! You don't live here! I've late for work and killed people. Does that feel good? We're not being here to shoot people.
That's what fascism looks like. You guys are what fascism looks like.
Look at stop. Pause 1 sec. Come back in here, Jake. Look at this Twilight Zone buzz cut. Like, I mean, looks like a space alien.
You can't take these types of people serious. You can't.
No,
if you run into them in public, you can't even take them serious. I'm like,
exactly.
Can I get some groceries? I can't even. I'm looking at you. I'm like, bro, what's going on here?
Well,
what's up with the haircut?
When you look at them, I mean, they look like freaking demons. They're like, you know, like,
they do.
Body like
look into their eyes.
Like, yeah, you just look at it like. Well, I mean, literally. I mean, these people are just literal like creatures from the underworld. It's just the weirdest thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have
some of the weirdest people. Mm-hmm. There's some of the weirdest.
Got some breaking news coming into the desk. Stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news coming into the Pine Island World Headquarters at this time. Governor Tim Walz and his administration are threatening criminal charges against the ICE agent who shot the 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good after she tried to use her vehicle as a weapon against him. Let's go to the Lieutenant Governor.
That's unsafe. So the president said, this is being studied. It's very clear from his post that they believe it was self-defense, and the feds have all but said whether the FBI is looking into it, but it appears that they obviously will not be moving forward with charges. That seems pretty clear. Will Minnesota then try to leapfrog that and push with state charges of this ICE officer?
I think that, that's certainly something that, will need to be taken very seriously. I think the people of Minnesota, the folks in Minneapolis, the loved ones of, Renee Nicole Good deserve justice. They deserve transparency. And I know that that's something that, I will be calling for justice and transparency. And so that, as they're talking about, domestic terrorism or somehow, trying to disrespect and insult the memory of Renee Nicole Good, we need to do everything we can to make sure that the truth is getting out there, and that, what people have seen with their own eyes, both in eyewitness accounts, but also on, the video footage that's been taken, tells a very, very different story than, frankly, I think the lies that are coming out of Donald Trump and Kristi Noem.
Lieutenant Governor, thank you very much. We appreciate your time tonight, and so many breaking stories. It is.
So no federal charge, but the state is actively looking to put an indictment forward and against this ICE officer. Your reaction?
I think that I think we have to back the agent, just because if you don't, it is like we already kind of went over. It's kind of a sketchy one, but you kind of have to side with the agent here, because if you don't, then the other agents, they're all going to get scared. They're not going to want to do their job. So you got to back them, and then I don't know if the state goes after them. If you could get some federal backing on that, I don't know. I don't know how that really works out, but you got to back the agent, or the other agents are going to be scared, and they're just not going to be as effective.
That's pretty much how I'm feeling about that. I mean, because the way I look at it is like this. This is kind of an apples to oranges comparison, but I mean it fits in this context. It's like when Elon Musk's businesses were getting attacked while he was running Doge, and Pam Blondie and some of these other jerk-offs in the DOJ were just essentially like, oh, well, we'll go arrest this one or two people, but we're not going to go after the NGOs and networks that are running this entire operation against Elon and his companies, and they're getting bombed to pieces. So, if you don't protect them, what are you going to get? You're going to get people that are going to start coming out going like, this is a joke. What the hell, And you're going to start losing officers left, right, and center. And at a time when we have a severe shortage of ICE officers and a deportation force, we need more. But if we don't protect them, then how are we going to get more people, and how we're going to get this mass deportation effort handled?
Exactly. They got to stand 10 toes down on this. Shit happened, but she literally put herself in harm's way. What are you doing? Get out of the way. Why are you're literally just asking for issues there.
Mm-hmm.
So be it. It's really her fault.
Yeah. Anyways, you want to do your Trump impression voice on this one? Here's the latest statement from Trump. I'm going to let you handle this one. Fire away.
I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer, who seemed to have shot her in self-defense. I call it self-defense. Based on the attached clip, it's hard to believe that he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. The situation is being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left, they're threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers, our beautiful law enforcement officers. They look like beautiful guys, some of the best guys, and ICE agents on a daily basis. They're just trying to do the job of making America safe. We need to stand by and protect our law enforcement officers Beautiful guys. Tremendous guys. Some of the best. From this radical left movement of violence and hate. That kind of dragged on a lot, but
from
that's one
President
of the
Donald J.
funniest ones.
Trump, you know, everything's everything's great, everything's wonderful.
The agents, they look like movie stars. They're some of the handsomest
Movie
guys.
stars.
You look at them and you're like, wow, they're so handsome.
Oh goodness. All right. I obviously went a little bit long. I was supposed to go for 30 minutes and then cut to break, but we're going to go ahead and do that. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're getting supplements, when you're getting Patriot apparel, there is no other place to get it other than thealexjonesstore.com/Pine Island. At thealexjonesstore.com/Pine Island, we have some of the best sales of methylene blue now in stock. We just got a fresh shipment at the warehouse in Fayetteville, Arkansas. You won't get any higher quality methylene blue than that. And let me tell you what, folks, I take this every morning. It's like taking a cup of coffee. Now, some people, you take this stuff and you feel like you got Palpatine lightning bolts coming out of your fingers, okay? So if you're new to methylene blue, take a little bit at first and let it build up, and then you start taking more over time. Not only that, widest selection of Patriot apparel all across the board, thealexjonesstore.com. All right. We're going to go ahead and go to break. Coming up after this quick commercial break, we got all the latest news on Tim Walz dropping out. We'll have more
Dodson,
news
I
what's
can't
going on.
hear you anymore.
Stand by. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going to break. Be right back. Stay with us. Got you back.
But it's a lot of ear rape.
Yeah, I know. That's where we're on break right now.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna leave the break back on for a minute so I get everything set back up. So, live production, folks. Gotta love it.
blasting out on different transmission systems worldwide. You're listening to Cole Dodson.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back live here on Pine Island Live. Cole Dodson, Jake Ambrose here with you in the booth tonight.
I can't hear you again.
Oh my gosh. See, you gotta love the wonders of live broadcasting. Sometimes we have technical difficulties that always tend to pop up here and there, but nevertheless, we've got the latest on all the Somali fraud. Tim Walz just recently dropped out because he got busted up by Nick Shirley. And now that we got Ambrose back in here once again, we good?
Yep. All good.
All right, wonderful. All right, let's get right back to drilling tonight on all of this news. So much going on, folks. It would appear as though Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison got caught on a hot mic accepting cash from Somali fraudsters in exchange for votes and campaign donations to keep the system going. Let's go ahead and watch this Fox News report.
The investigation into these fraud allegations is far from over, but sources are telling Fox again this morning that now that Governor Tim Walz says he's not going to run for re-election, the feds are also shifting their focus to the state's Attorney General, Keith Ellison. Why? Because a newly obtained clip by Fox that we just got yesterday, that was from 2021, has Ellison meeting in this recording with a group of people who were asking for his help. The problem is those people, you guys, were then just days later arrested for one of the biggest fraud scandals in the state. Watch.
The only way we can protect what we have is by inserting ourselves into the political arena, putting our votes where it needs to be, but most importantly, putting our dollars in the right place and supporting candidates that will fight to protect our interests.
That's right.
You can only protect our interests when we have your back, and you don't have to worry about who's behind you.
So now officials are saying, why was Ellison meeting with this group in the first place? They were asking him to help them get more federal funding, offering votes and campaign donations for support. So the audio clip's part of an ongoing investigation into the widespread fraud across the state. Ellison's office sharing an op-ed that he wrote in the local paper. He said, in part, I took a meeting in good faith with people I didn't know, and some turned out to have done bad things. I did nothing for them and took nothing from them. But documents obtained by the Center for the American Experiment say some of those non-convicted Somali fraudsters that he met with donated money to Ellison's campaign after that meeting. It's money, though, he did later give back once this group was indicted, according to reports. So there's just so many levels of this fraud that's been going on for years, according to officials. Fox obtained that full, nearly 1 hour-long clip of the meeting with the lawyer of Amy Bach. For people wondering who that is there on your screen, she's the Minnesota woman who was one of many convicted last year in that $250 million Feeding Our Future scam. That's how this all started with Bach. She's behind bars, though, but her legal team tells me, where's the accountability for the governor and the attorney general? He said the state let the fraud happen. Do you think some of these politicians should be held accountable?
I would like to see someone in the state. I don't care whether it's the governor. I don't care whether it's the attorney general.
Massive fraud. We're talking, folks. We are talking into the billions that you paid for. Yeah.
And we wonder why we're in debt.
Well, when you let a bunch of people in that are here to rip you off and steal from you, of course. And then when you're funneling money to, dumb fuckistan instead of right here in the country. America first, folks. And right now we're not getting that. Here's Trump.
All.
Here's Trump on his high horse talking about Tim Walz. You want to go for that one too? Come on. Hit me with it.
Minnesota's corrupt governor will possibly leave office before his term is up. But in any event, will not be running again because he was caught red-handed along with Ilhan Omar.
Oh no!
Oh,
get back into it now.
Yeah, terrible. Ilhan Omar and others of his Somali friends stealing tens of billions of taxpayer dollars. I feel certain the facts will come out and they will reveal a serious, unscrupulous, and rich group of slime balls. I call them slime balls. Governor Walz has destroyed the state of Minnesota, but others like Governor Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, and Kathy Hochul have done, in my opinion, an even more dishonest and incompetent job. No one is above the law. Not even me. Not even me.
Do you notice this one thing with Trump about how he always says everything is about incompetence?
Yeah, that is a common theme.
Trump, listen very carefully. This is not ineptitude. This is not incompetence. This is a designed, weaponized attack. They are not sitting here doing this because they're stupid. They are deliberately smashing you with electromagnetic radiation. They are poisoning you in your food, in your water, in everything. And you're sitting here saying that this is an act of stupidity and incompetence? Come on, man. Like,
yeah, you can't
I mean,
accidentally
now
just
you look
let
like the incompetent one.
Yeah, you can't just accidentally let all that happen. It's just not possible. We didn't notice. It's not possible. There's so much going on. Do you know how easy it'd be to verify the Somali fraud with the daycares? You literally just send an agent there like one time. Like literally, you give them the funding and then a month later send an agent there and check in. Like
Yeah, just a random inspection. I mean, hell, it took a 23-year-old kid by the name of Nick Shirley, who used to do prank videos on YouTube, and he literally broke probably the biggest story of 2025. I mean, it literally took like one of the bros to fucking do the job that the federal government is supposed to do.
Yeah,
and we're getting fucked. Like, I mean, some people might like that. Some people might like getting, a shish kebab rammed up their ass. But I think the majority, the normal people, they don't like having a shish kebab jammed up their fucking keister. Okay? And people have really are just sick and tired of it. But every time you get the lip service from Blondie on Fox News, she was on Sean Hannity last night running her fucking dick licker, going like, oh my gosh, all this stuff going on with the Somalis, and we're gonna press them hard, we're gonna prosecute him, and Maduro, he's a screwed son of a bitch, and it's all thanks to President Trump's bold leadership, baby. And I'm just like, what the fuck does that have to do with cleaning up this country with all the freaking crime going on, with all the deep state running around? Still to this day, no indictments, no prosecutions, no SWAT raids at 5 a.m. with a CNN camera crew parked outside the fucking door. What the fuck is going on?
it's fucking bullshit.
Well, you know what? Maybe now we might actually get a little bit of action. Here is Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary.
She's so hot, by the way.
With her Botox lips. I'm saying Botox for a reason, folks. With her Botox lips, giving the lip service on, good old slop news. Take a look at this.
Surprise you what's happening with Tim Walz?
Unfortunately, it isn't. The scale of the fraud that the Trump administration, with the help of great independent journalists like Nick Shirley, is uncovering right now is surely shocking. But President Trump has been calling out Tim Walz for his incompetence and corrupt leadership for a very long time. And Trump was right about everything. This is another example of that, which is why Governor Walz is dropping out of the race for re-election today. This is a man who can no longer even win the support of the voters within his home state because his policies have failed them. And now the great people of Minnesota, a state that was once known as the land of 10,000 lakes, has been turned into the land of 10,000 Somali schemes because of their governor. And don't forget, this is a guy who was at the top of the Democrat Party's ticket, the number 2. He was Kamala Harris's running mate just about a year ago until President Trump crushed them last November. And it was in large part because the president was calling out this fraud. And so this has been a day one priority for the Trump administration, Jesse. The Department of Justice has convicted and prosecuted nearly 100 defendants in Minnesota. And because of these new details and this new reporting that has come to light, this is a all hands on deck across the entire government effort. We are surging resources. You saw today, the Department of Homeland Security announced we have nearly 2,000 agents from the Homeland Security Investigations Team. The FBI is on the ground, and we're freezing money. HHS cut off funding for child care centers and for daycares. USDA Secretary Rollins has been asking Governor Walz to see the recipients of SNAP in his state. So this is all hands on deck. Rest assured, it's a top priority for President Trump. And he believes that Governor Walz is criminally liable. And I think the Department of Justice is going to find out.
Well, they should, because it's too much money to lose. You can't say, oh, oops, I don't know where it went, especially when all of those whistleblowers going crazy and the AG there, Ellison, acting like he was running PR for these Somalians. So down in Venezuela, there's a lot of action, and the country is thrilled with the precise, flawless military execution overseen by the commander-in-chief and the team. What comes next?
Well, first of all, I have to give incredible credit to President Trump, Secretary Hegseth, Secretary Rubio, our Vice President, J.D. Vance, the entire team across the board. This is undoubtedly one of the greatest foreign policy and military achievements the United States of America has ever seen. And as Joe Biden used to falsely say, we can now truly say America is back. Thanks to the courage of President Trump, thanks to the leadership of his amazing cabinet, and thanks, of course, to our brave men and women in the United States military. So now this exact same team of foreign policy leaders who have been running President Trump's Venezuela foreign policy this entire time will continue to do that. We have a lot of leverage over the remaining Maduro government right now. I know Secretary Rubio is in constant correspondence with them. We're going to make sure this country aligns with the interests of the United States of America.
All right, and congratulations to you too. That's great news.
Lip service. Don't sit there and tell me. Do it. And that's all you get on. That's all you get on Slop News, pretty much. So here's Trump talking about how
at least she's hot. She is hot.
Yeah,
that is one thing you can give Trump credit for. He hires hot employees. He always has, always will. So that's one of the major benefits over if we had Kamala, you'd be listening to a black girl with blue hair yapping.
Or some other twat looking figure. You don't know with those people. I mean, my gosh, we had guys running around with fake tits in the last administration. So
never want Caroline, she's hot.
Yeah,
and then I'll say one thing about Tampon Tim. I'm sick and tired of dweebs like this. These are the guys that used to get bullied back in high school. These are the suckers. These are the suckers that didn't get beat up enough. And then now the left just empowers these type of people. It's weak. He wants to take our money and he wants to install tampon dispensers in men's bathrooms. I don't know how anybody can support someone. He really is the king of the cucks.
Yeah, but
is.
he's also a very insidious guy, and not only that, but he has a lot of ties to the Communist Chinese Party.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's something I've not heard.
But yeah, during the 90s, he was a CCP agent. Like, I mean, that's something that people don't really talk about, is the fact that Tim Walz, you know, even though he comes off, you know, publicly as this kind of goofy guy, I mean, in reality, he's a CCP asset.
You never know with these people.
Yeah, I mean, hell, Karen Bass was a Cuban intelligence officer. By the way, you can look this up, folks. But I'm not bullshitting you. I mean, look it up. Go on Google. Karen Bass, Cuban. Just look it up on Google. You'll find it. I mean, she did a lot of time in Cuba, and she's a Cuban intelligence asset. That's not bullshit. That's all confirmed. So, here's Trump talking about how he's considering using the Insurrection Act, which I think today would have been a great day to go ahead and just drop the hammer and do it. Here's the boss.
You know that Portland, we got it down to almost no crime. You know that? But we pulled it out. We had a Supreme Court decision. We can go back. We're allowed to go back in. But we'll go back in when the crime starts. Look, the crime will soon start because they now know that we're out. And at the appropriate time, we'll go back in. And we may, if we're allowed to. The most powerful thing we haven't used the Insurrection Act.
You're considering using the Insurrection Act?
I've always considered it, but we haven't needed it anywhere. 48% of the presidents of this country have used it. Bush used it, I think, 22 times or something. You know that, right? I mean, Bush the elder. You know that Portland.
Why aren't we using it now, Trump? I mean, what's the deal? I really don't understand. I mean, we literally have a full-blown insurrection going on in Minneapolis right now. Why aren't we using the Insurrection Act? Your reaction?
I think it's too much talking. They just need to, like, if you're going to say it, just do it. If we're going to be hard on the liberals, then actually be hard on them. Like, you either show power or you talk too much. If you talk too much and don't do something, people are losing respect for you. So he really, he just needs to lock in.
Yeah, I agree with that. And not only that, but I think the other problem is that Trump is a little bit hesitant to make some terminations that are badly needed, like Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche, Kash Patel. They need to be fired. And the one thing we got in the first administration that we're not getting is action. Because in the first administration, it seemed like there was a lot of stuff moving. But right now, it seems like we're getting more lip service on Fox News than we are getting, action. And I'm just sitting here like, look, I don't care. Stop giving me the lip service. If you're going to do it, just do it. And then tell me about it later. Literally.
Yep.
Well, South Park.
Like what? Oh, sorry.
I was going to tee this off. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, with what he did in Venezuela, we didn't even know that they were going in to do the attack. It was all done before anyone even knew anything. So that's the type of shit we want to hear. Just go do it.
And we need to have some of that action right here in the United States of America. Where is that kind of action in Tim Walz's governor's mansion? What about that kind of action in Mike DeWine's governor's mansion over in Bexley? What the hell? I mean, this is not something that should be difficult, but it seems like we got to play by the book and we got to do all this stuff. I'm like, look, the Constitution's in pieces. It's shredded. Okay. Like, no one's going to be upset. This is extraordinary times. Make the move and just execute and do it. Like, that was a Trump that I miss from the first term, which was, you got rapid action, kind of unpredictable rapid action. And right now, that is something that we need because everything right now is just reactionary. All the moves that we're seeing with the Trump administration is all reactionary. There is literally just, no proactive movements. It's just lip service and reactionary movements instead of being proactive and getting ahead of the curve. So that way, we can stabilize and secure this country. And that is not happening right now. So Tim Walz was featured on the latest South Park episode, and this is some funny stuff. Take a look at this.
Here at the South Park Leering Center, we're not just retarded, we're Minnesota retarded. Ilhan Omar was educated here, and she's completely retarded. And I know this might come as a surprise, but I myself am retarded. Here at the South Park Leering...
Never South Park never fails.
Not at all.
Never fails. Have you seen the new season of South Park with Trump? With Trump in the you need to watch that. It's freaking great. My God.
No, I actually haven't at all. I don't really watch too much.
The new. I mean, I'm not a big TV guy, but like the new South Park season, where they have Trump, replaced. Trump replaced Saddam Hussein, and now he's like, he always hops in the bed like, "Hey, Satan!" And he's like, "I'm not in the mood." and the King of the Hill the new season of King of the Hill, the one that came out last year, great watch as well. All right, let's talk about Ohio. Let's get into the weeds here. So back on Monday, we had a bit of an incident over at JD Vance's house in Cincinnati, and oh my goodness, look at this creature, Jake. I mean, it's always the eyes, they go like. So here's a creature. William DeFore goes by Julia, of course,
bro.
Julia. I mean, that's what happened when you get a few extra.
Julia.
What is it? What? Oh gosh, my mind is blanking on it. It's the hormone, estrogen.
Estrogen.
Yeah, that's what happened when you get too many estrogen shots in you, and you let the doctors have their way.
We should not let people look like this. That's why we have to bring back. We got to bring.
It's not healthy.
Yeah, you can't. Like, what is this person? This person was probably something else. All the people around him probably like, this guy is weird. So, and then it really is surprising. Well, the first thing is it's just dumb. What is he doing? Oh, I'm gonna go just break windows here, and okay, now I'm gonna get arrested. Where's the thought process?
There, and see what you just said right there. What you just said right there is a key thing: second order thinking, and that is a way you can classify liberalism as a mental disorder because they lack the ability to think second order. Like let's say for example, if I hit you, okay, the second order thought is you're going to kick my ass and put me in the ground like Bucci did a few years ago, basically. Hey,
hold
Nick.
the clip up.
But like, but the liberals, they don't think that. All they thought about was just, I'd punch you and get that high.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, I felt great. They're not thinking about the fact that you're about to literally put them in the ground. And
I'm gonna stick it to him. I'm gonna stick it to him. I'm gonna break his windows. Then he'll stop. He'll stop being racist.
Totally not thinking about the fact that he's going to get that, this Twilight Zone's going to get arrested and thrown in jail and probably, prosecuted, to the fullest extent. They'll be lucky to get a 20-year cap. Pretty much because federal guidelines that there's no probation really, there is only prison pretty much. So
I mean, and they really should lock him away because that person, imagine that person getting out in 5 years, like that's going to be somebody that will really crash out.
Yeah,
lock them up.
Yeah, I mean we're literally brewing freaking Terminator machines. It's absolutely absurd. JD Vance's response to this right here. I appreciate everyone's well wishes about the attack on our home. As far as I could tell, a crazy person tried to break in by hammering the windows. Grateful to the Secret Service and Cincinnati Police for responding quickly. We weren't even home as we already returned to D.C. One request to the media: we try to protect our kids as much as possible from the realities of this life of public service. In that light, I am skeptical of the news value plastering images of our home with holes in our windows. Yeah, well. Anyways, back more Ohio news. It gets a little crazier. Well, actually, this is kind of a sidebar real fast. HHS confirms that Somalia's ambassador to the UN was involved in a healthcare company, which was convicted of Medicare fraud.
That's hilarious.
I don't know if you heard this, but like the Somalis are now the group in the UN, because every year changes countries, that are essentially going to be running the meetings and all the stuff at the UN. The Somalis,
really,
and we're still in the
some
UN.
low IQ meetings.
Well, they're already low IQ anyways. It's just a bunch of people trying to get their freak on and stuff. Is it's a cesspool. But like the thing is like, why are we in the UN? Why are we still in NATO? Why are we continuing to allow ourselves to be drug around as this old crack whore, just to be slapped around and bullied? I mean, like, what the hell? This is the United States of America. Why are we allowing this?
Yeah.
So
it doesn't make sense, dude.
Anyways, all right, let's get into some of the juicier Ohio stuff. So Vivek Ramaswamy is running for governor of Ohio, and for the most part, up until I would say about Thanksgiving, maybe a little earlier, he was actually putting out some, really good stuff, like talking about how he wants to cut the state income tax, cut property taxes down to almost zero, and a bunch of really good things that would spur economic development in the state of Ohio. But the thing that people seem to have quickly forgotten about Vivek is that he's a bit of a Trojan horse. Like, okay, yeah, he does really good when it comes to public relations and going out and talking to people and stuff and kind of going like, look, I understand you have reservations about me, but I can promise you that I'm not the guy that you think I am. Well, obviously people are now realizing, no, actually he is the guy that you think he is, because after about Thanksgiving, he started changing his tune. He started going like, we need more H-1Bs. We need more Indians. We need more Somalis. We need more of these people from foreign countries to fill these jobs, because Ohioans are supposedly lazy and don't want to work, which is a whole load of crap. And it's like, the truth is like, you're not even giving them a chance. And now you want to continue flooding the zone with more of these people running these Indian gas station stuff. What about the kids in high school and stuff that could use a little extra buck or two? I mean, it's total absurdity, total bull crap. And you're basically shutting out the future generations from even having a chance at having a future and a good job. Well, recently, Vivek has been getting bullied so bad by everybody on X. I've even gotten on him too. Casey Putsch, the new guy from Perrysburg, he's running for governor, big car guy, big time, entrepreneur, businessman. He's the kind of guy that Ohio needs, which I guess you could call this an endorsement, but just looking at the 35,000 foot view perspective, when you compare Vivek, who really and truly is a total fraud and a phony and a fake and a Trojan horse, I've said that many times, you compare him to someone like Casey Putsch, who's actually a legitimate guy and actually gives a shit about Ohio and is a native Ohioan, not some anchor baby, basically. The difference, I mean, they're all the shit. The choice is clear here, folks. Well, Vivek obviously cannot handle the heat. So recently, Vivek Ramaswamy got exposed for being in bed with Somali daycare fraudsters, and here's him with one of them at a campaign event. I mean, literally, Somali Chamber of Commerce endorses Vivek Ramaswamy for governor. Of course, I mean, really.
Yeah.
And
no,
then not only
I
that,
I think a lot of people used to like Vivek because he always said the right things. But now that it's really getting down to it and people are sick and tired of all the immigration, and it's like, this guy is just going to import people. That's all he wants.
well, he's Mike DeWine on a full battery.
Yeah. I mean, and if you're in his position, like Indian American, you would do the same thing. You would want to import all your people. But the thing is, that's not what Ohio is. And people in Ohio are getting tired of it. You go to the mall, and a lot of people don't even speak English.
Well, and like that story I told you about myself and Derek at Pancake House in Westerville, it looked like Mogadishu. I mean, like, and I'm not a racist or anything, but it's like, you look around and you see Somalis everywhere, and you're like, are we being invaded? Are we getting replaced? And the answer is, yeah, you are, and you're under attack, and you need to wake up and do something about it. Well,
yeah.
Vivek Ramaswamy, now that everybody in the state of Ohio and, well, frankly, the entire country has woken up to his crap, is now swearing off social media. He's saying, I'm rage quitting social media. I'm not going to be on. I don't want to listen to all the haters and the bootlickers and stuff and the fake I'm like, excuse me? No, Vivek, we're the ones that are actually, the people you need in order to get into office. And you telling us that we're not important and that we're replaceable by foreign workers, which, by the way, for those that don't know, the people in India that are coming over to the United States are all from one single province and higher up on the caste system. They're not just, I mean, it's not just any and all Indian that's coming here. No. It's a very specific group, just like the Somalis. They're all the, all the lords and stuff. It's really just totally fraudulent bullshit, and it's got to stop. So Tom Renz, who's a great lawyer, came out with this post talking about the situation in Ohio. And folks, I mean, look, we understand a lot of the stuff going on in Minnesota, and we're like, oh, it's a Democrat-run state, of course it's going to be rife with fraud. And then all of a sudden everybody starts looking at Ohio and they're going like, holy crap. And then it dawns on them, it's like, wait a minute, this is a deep red state. Where's the action? Where's the arrests? And it's not happening. It's not happening. I mean, Franklin County, they're giving stand down orders. Don't investigate. Don't look at it.
Yeah.
And then when you see that, you're just like, well, what the hell? And it goes back to the 2025 election in like New Jersey and Virginia and these places. They're like, oh, these are blue areas. It's like, no, the problem is that the Republicans aren't doing anything to help the voters that got them into power in the first place. They're just sitting on their ass and giving lip service on Fox. And that's not what we voted for. So Tom Renz came out with this. He's like, what's coming out of Ohio should scare every taxpayer in this country. While politicians point fingers at Minnesota, Columbus is quietly becoming the epicenter of a massive taxpayer-funded child care fraud scandal, ghost children, fake enrollments, millions flowing through allegedly fraudulent daycare operations. Here's what no one wants to say out loud. Ohio has the second largest Somali population in the United States, and a shocking number of daycare facilities are tied to this fraud pattern. You could go south side of Columbus, south of I-70, down in the ghetto in that area, and I've been there recently, back in, want to say October. Like if you were to look towards like Nationwide Children's Hospital in that area, kind of in the slums and stuff, that's where they're at. That's where they're at. The daycare centers are not hard to find. Anthony Rubin, a muckraker, was there a couple weeks back doing his own little deep dive investigation into the Somali fraud that was going on in Columbus. And like the locals are there just going like, I've never seen anybody go in and out of that building, not once. It's just a building that's sitting there, and it's literally mining. Like it's like a Bitcoin miner, except it's a mine for taxpayer money.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
I mean, they're smart, honestly, for doing it. Like they've been getting away with it. I would do the same thing. If I was a Somali, I would do the same thing. They're such a tight-knit community that they're able to they're able to like share their secrets across the country, and they're literally just making it happen. So it's bullshit. That's what they do. They're pirates. They come from a pirate country. Their country shit. The way they act, like if you just take one person and you move them to America, they're not just gonna act like an American. So we literally just imported it, and they're just doing what they do. So it's really insane.
And they're literally getting dumped in Ohio. I mean, we had the story out of Springfield where my friend Joey lives. I mean, the Haitians, doing all sorts of voodoo rituals, and all of a sudden Joey's telling me, he's like, "Hey, man, I've been responding to all these calls regarding crashes involving these Haitians, and they don't have insurance, and now my insurance has gone up." And then you got Mike DeWine going on Face the Nation saying they're here legally. And it's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And again, this is a Republican run state. This is a deep red state. This is not a blue state. This is not a swing state. This ain't what it was 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, where you could call it a swing state. No, this is a deep red-blooded American state. And the people in the state of Ohio, like you, are just sitting here like, no, I want my Ron DeSantis hardcore, no bullshit, say hello to my little friend, DEFCON 1, get out there and fucking, shut this shit down. So here's Tom Renz's report. Yeah, well, here's Tom Renz's report talking about the Somali fraud going on in Ohio.
It's not just
click, boom, boom.
Just happening in Minnesota, and this is the dirty secret. Everybody wants to say this is Democrat Tim Walz. It's not Democrat Tim Walz. It's Uniparty. The Republicans are pushing for illegal immigration too. The Republicans aren't stopping it. I mean, Trump had to drag him kicking and screaming to sign any laws allowing for immigration reform. I mean, you remember the first term when the Republicans wouldn't let Trump, they wouldn't pass anything, wouldn't do anything to help Trump get the border security? Well, now what we have happening is people are looking, because guess who has the second highest Somali immigration population in the country? That would be Ohio. In fact, Columbus, Ohio, capital of Ohio, home of the Ohio State University, and also the location that Mike DeWine, Republican governor of Ohio, governs from. Well, it turns out that they seem to have a huge Somali population and a lot ridiculous amount of childcare facilities that seem to be, well, fraudulent. In fact, we just actually had Mahek Cook was investigating claims of taxpayer-funded childcare fraud involving ghost children at Columbus daycares, and she was assaulted by a staffer. Right? There's video of this. It's pretty viral right now on Twitter. It's kind of crazy. It's all over the place, and it's starting to make news in Ohio. It's starting, people are starting to say, "Wait a second, we got a lot of Somalis here." Do we have the same sort of fraud happening in Ohio? And of course, Mike DeWine denies it. Mike DeWine, a good Republican, right? He's a Republican leader. Of course, he couldn't be involved, except for he is. Mike DeWine is the same crook who sold out, as I said, with all the COVID stuff. I mean, he was the lead chief Republican sellout. He did more to facilitate this. He's 100% in the big pharma pocket. He is a absolute crook. He is not. I live in Ohio. I can't say enough bad about this piece of crap.
Really? And I mean, and folks, this is not just, I mean, if you think that this happened in just in Midwestern states, no, folks, this is everywhere. New York, Illinois, Texas. Need I go on? Here's Owen Schroyer. $700 billion in fraud. And then Elon Musk right here, he's like, I've seen it personally myself. The fraud in California, New York, and Illinois is far greater than Minnesota. My guess is how much fraud is happening nationwide is roughly 10% of the federal budget. So about $700 billion a year.
That is insane.
10%.
That is crazy. It's actually awesome, though. It's awesome that this is getting exposed and talked about now, because for so long people just didn't care. Nick Shirley really blew that up.
Mm-hmm. Well, here here's my problem with Nick. Like, I don't have a problem with Nick Shirley, so I should preface that. But here's my issue. This has been going on for years. This has been in news reports since 2018. And like all Nick Shirley did was essentially remind everybody, like, hey, we still have this fraud ongoing right now. I mean, that was the whole point of Doge with Elon Musk in the first 100 days. I mean, when the first 100 days of the Trump administration was going on and we had Doge, I was high as a kite. I was happy because it's like we're finding out about all of this stuff going on deep inside of our federal government. I mean, literal computers putting digits on a screen saying all this money is coming out when it's like reality. None of it is real. And then all of a sudden when Elon tried to go into Fort Knox and do the audit there and the Treasury Department and Social Security and shut down the IRS, all of a sudden then the Republicans were like, oh, no, we can't do that. Folks, it's all one big Ponzi scheme. And now you're understanding why people are coming out saying we need a tax revolt. You know, just stop paying federal taxes and stuff, and corporations need to get involved because, I mean, some of them are getting screwed too. And it's just absurd. And then here's Trump. Here's Trump talking about it, saying we're getting cooked, we're getting screwed. $19 billion that was robbed from the American taxpayer to pay for Somali bullshit. And again, where's Doge? Where's all the cutting of the waste, fraud, and abuse? Where's Congress? It's absurd. Let's listen to Trump.
It's almost not even believable. This very stupid, low IQ governor, he's a very stupid man because, you know, I had a campaign against him with JD. And he's a stupid man. And he's a corrupt politician. And the Somalians are ripping off our country to the tune of, looks like $19 billion, but that's only what they can find. So usually when you're looking at 19, that would mean it could be 50. But the numbers are astronomical. Think of it. They have a dead country. They don't have government. They don't have anything. They don't have a military. All they do is run around shooting people and trying to capture ships. You know, we don't let them take ships anymore. You know why? We use the same exact missile on them that we use on the drug carriers. And it's very effective. You notice there's nobody capturing ships anymore? Because as they head out to go capture the ship, and the ship doesn't want to fire back because it's very flammable stuff in many cases. And the insurance companies don't want, because they build $1 billion ship, and they don't want anybody firing rockets into the ship. But we're hitting them so hard, and it's very similar. Same missile system. It's called Deadly Accurate. And you notice that ships aren't being taken anymore. The pirates are. The pirates aren't. Well, no Somali birds. It's actually very easy. They head out. We say, guess what? There's pirates. Bing. That's the end of the pirates. Bing. The shipping business is coming back. Because, see, these are little things that we're doing, and I'm doing it not just for American ships. I'm doing it worldwide because we don't want ships taken by Somalia pilots.
Somalia.
But what they are doing is they're stealing money from the American taxpayer. And every one of them should be forced to leave this country, including Ilhan Omar, who's a total crook. And she's one of the leaders of it. Not the only, because she's not that smart. But think of it. $19 billion at least they've stolen from Minnesota and from the United States. It's actually more from the United States because Minnesota puts in, and we're not going to pay it anymore. We're going to have Walz go pay. We're not going to pay them, and we're not going to pay California, and we're not going to pay Illinois with that big slob of a governor that they have.
Goodness. It's called Deadly Accurate.
Deadly Accurate.
Deadly Accurate.
He's so funny.
Trump is hilarious. I mean,
He's a
especially
showman.
when you catch him on a hot mic and stuff. He's just sitting there cussing like a sailor. Like, I mean, we need more
Yeah.
hot mic Trump instead of like the filtered Trump. You know, that's what people voted for and wanted. So,
Yeah, 100%.
here is General Flynn talking about the fraud as well. Take a look.
Just so people know, and I'm very transparent about what I'm doing out there for the most part. I am in the process because I want Speaker Johnson to do more. And so we started looking at Speaker Johnson's PACs and how many of his PACs turn money back around to daycare and healthcare clinics and such, and that kind of stuff. It's incredible the amounts of money, and that's one person, but he happens to be the Speaker of the House. So this is not a partisan thing for me. Just so people know, and I'm very transparent.
And it's not a partisan thing. I mean, this is totally. I mean, it's not a partisan thing. It's not a political thing. It's just, let's cut this off. Let's stop this crap. End this embarrassment right here, right now. And we're still waiting, Trump. I mean,
The
but
thing I just
time's
don't
running out.
understand is why is anyone against this and why is anyone defending it? Like, we're all Americans, and then we're having people just rip us off, steal our money. Everybody complains about all the debt we're in, but then the liberals want to complain, oh, you're targeting Somalis. It's like, okay, this stuff has been exposed that they're doing it, and then you're mad that we're looking into it. It just makes no sense at all. I don't understand.
My mindset behind all that is, especially when it comes to liberals, is like, look, if you don't get it at this point, then there's just nothing I can do for you. And not only that, but I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to, as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you're now in my way, so I mean, you can either get out of the way or can run you over. Your choice. We got a couple of comments here. Let's go. We'll kind of go into a couple of these comments here, and then we'll go to break, and then we'll get into the state of MAGA, or what's left of it. Actually, no, we'll read the comments here kind of like as a little sidebar, and then we'll go into the state of MAGA, and then we'll take a break and then get into Venezuela here. So that's going to be our flow for
the comments. For some reason, I can't see anything. I only saw the first few.
That's because there was, I think there was only a couple here. So by the way, folks, if you got comments, stuff you want to post or questions or anything, feel free to drop it, and we'll get to it as soon as we get a chance. But here's one. I mean, some of these, oh my gosh, these are troll comments. I love them.
What are they? What are they saying? Because I literally can't see anything.
You got this one guy. He's like, who's the brown immigrant host? He needs to be deported by ICE. Like, hey, listen, buddy, you want to smoke? Come get the smoke, man. Come get the smoke. I'm red-blooded, American-born citizen. Ain't no, just like I look brown. Okay, well, guess what? You know what? I look tan, young, tall, handsome, tan. But hey, you know what? I need to be deported by ICE. Well, you know what? You want it? You can come on right on down to the South, boy, and come get yourself some little bit of Southern smoke, baby. I'll light your ass up like a fucking Christmas tree. Come on.
It's actually a funny ass comment, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of giving my Alex Jones impression here. He's like, I'm gonna let you have it, Schroyer, because you're a fucking liar, fucking asshole, piece of shit. That's all you are. I mean, gee, and then of course, here's Hezzy. Here's our brother.
No one finds you funny.
No one finds you funny. Sorry,
No
Gage.
one
I'm a little
finds you
dry
funny.
tonight. That's why. That's Gage. That's why. Like, I call in Ambrose.
No, I think he was. I'm seeing that he was replying to Zinception.
Oh,
I think.
What was it? I don't know. I thought it was me. Which I'm dry as a bone either way. I mean, hey, what can I say? That's just how I roll. It's how I roll, We gotta roll with it.
Roll. Yeah, no, I think that was. It looks like he was replying to his Inception.
Yeah.
Is that all
No.
the comments, or did anything else show
Yeah,
up?
that's all the comments for right now. I mean, like we had some like, of course there were a couple of other ones like give me some context, which I'm just like, okay, I don't pop those up. And then you had this one. I think the police has too much power. It needs to be defunded really fast. Okay. Okay, I mean,
Oh, now
I'm
they're
like,
showing
okay,
up.
it's like, well, or how are you going to defend yourself, huh?
They need defunded really fast.
They need defunded really fast. Real quickly, you know.
It happened
We call
very
that
fast.
ultra precision. All right, let's get back into the grind here. Here is Owen Schroyer with a fiery rant. I mean, folks, if you're not watching the Owen Report from 3 to 6 p.m. every day on YouTube, you're really missing out on some high quality, good, solid intelligence reporting and content. But and I forgot, I was actually going to say this before I'm going to go on. Gage, if you're watching this, come on the show. I want to talk about the economics with you, man. A lot of stuff going on that front. Bitcoin is going down the tubes right now. We got that going on. Silver way up, which, by the way, folks, I invested in silver when it was $31 an ounce, and right now it is $85 and going up. Ladies and gentlemen, kpm.com/gold or call 720-605-3900. Get yourself hooked up with Dr. Kirk Elliott and his amazing crew out in Colorado. They can get yourself set up with gold, and it's not too late, folks. I know you see the price going up, but listen, gold and silver are skyrocketing. It's a flight for safety, okay? And not only that, but you have to be able to be smart with your finance. You have to be able to diversify your investment. Don't just invest in just silver and gold. You know, have a little bit here in some IRAs. You can play in the stock market a little bit, but unfortunately that's become a bubble at this point. And I mean, there's a lot, of subject matter right there. And and look, and I mentioned Gage because honestly, Gage, you and I both know him to be probably one of the brightest minds, especially when it comes to economics that we know. Really, truly,
sure.
Gage Allen is a fucking genius when it comes to economics. I mean, you want the best sound advice, and look, and he's a guy that's going to shoot you straight, And the thing about economic minded people, when especially finance majors and stuff, they tend to shoot you a little low. Like let's say like, for example, the Fed's about to cut interest rates, which they're not going to do that right now. I'm just using as an example. There was one time when we were talking about the Fed interest rate cuts coming up. This was sometime last year when they first started doing it. And we were saying, and Gage was like, okay, they're going to cut it by 25 basis points. I'm sitting there like, no, I think they're going to cut it by between 50 to 75. Well, obviously, Gage obviously pretty much knew that it was going to be about 50 basis points, but it's smart to kind of undershoot that. So that way, you're a little bit, cushioned and prepared for that. And not only that, but plus it doesn't completely shock you. You know it's coming, but you're not going to be completely shocked in the process. But anyways, that's a plug for now. And that's a shout out.
Gage always has good predictions. He is one of the smartest guys in the group.
Yeah. So anyways, now that I've done my plug and now that I've given a free shout out to our friend Gage, let's go ahead and get right into Owen Schroyer talking about how MAGA has become a cult. Take a look at this.
It's honestly crazy what MAGA has become. And I'm all for people having different political opinions. I don't want to exist in a cult. People are going to have different opinions than I have, and they're going to have different policies that they support, and they're going to have different things that they want to see done and different ways of getting them done. This is normal. We should all have different ideas, and we should be hearing different ideas. But to watch whatever it is now, formerly known as MAGA, the Trump base, turn into just slop-eating sheeple is really incredible. And if you're evaluating this from a psychological perspective, there is probably no greater testament to this being the case than what we're seeing today. This is a regime change war. This is a special interest regime change war for the oil companies. This is a foreign interest regime change war for Israel. That's what this is. And so if you support that, then that's fine. You have every right as an American to express that opinion and to support that policy from Donald Trump. But don't kid yourselves. Don't become dishonest and people that are lost in a world that doesn't exist. Oh, Trump defeated communism. No, he didn't. Did we end the welfare state? Did we stop all the foreign aid? Are we going to invade China next? This was not about communism. Stop it. Oh, he's stopping the drugs. He's stopping the killer drugs. The CIA runs the narco game. Big Pharma, the COVID-19 vaccines, where are the drugs coming from? They're coming from Mexico. Oh, it's about ending the drugs. Stop it. Just admit what it is. And if you support it, then that's fine. But see, the fact that they can't be honest about what it is, that's the psychological tell. They are in denial. They know they've been deceived. They know this is not what they voted for. They know this is everything that Trump stood against. And here we are again today. And you know what you have in the streets? Foreign flags. Foreign flags in the streets. When do Americans get their day to celebrate? When do we arrest the deep state? When do we arrest all of the Epstein clients? When do we arrest all the billionaire elite pedophiles? When do we drain the swamp? When do we arrest the people that facilitated the border invasion? When do we arrest the people that put innocent Americans in prison for speech? When do we arrest the American criminals? Or does MAGA not stand for that anymore?
Your reaction?
I definitely see what he's saying there. I agree. I'm on more of the side though that I think that this invasion into Venezuela was like pretty badass though. And I am pro us taking their oil. When he said, I don't see how Israel's involved. Like I would have to hear about it, but I'm really pro America controlling our hemisphere, and I'm just glad it wasn't us like going into another Middle Eastern country and thousands of miles away. So like I think it's sick. I think we really need to control our hemisphere. We need to get rid of all the narco cartels, all that bullshit. If we can flush them out and clean up South America, I think it'd be really sweet. Like we would have some great countries, and it would. I think it'd be super sick.
So here's where Owen Shroyer is coming from on the Israel standpoint. So before the strikes were initiated against Venezuela, Bibi Netanyahu was having dinner and a meeting with Trump at Mar-a-Lago during New Year's, as a matter of fact. And that's kind of where the idea of Israel comes in. And not only that, but Maduro and Delcy Rodriguez are anti-Zionists. And, and when you look at the administration right now with Susie Wiles and Bondi and Jared Kushner running around the Middle East and stuff, doing, God knows what on behalf of the United States, even though Trump said, oh, Kushner wasn't going to be involved in any way with the administration. Well, that was a lie. But it seems like, we're attacking places and countries that aren't really pro-Zionist. Like, where's the attack on Mexico?
Yeah,
I mean,
with their new Jewish president.
Scheinbaum's Jewish. Scheinbaum's
Yeah.
Jewish, but now if we attack Mexico, okay, then you know what? Then great. But otherwise, if we don't, then what the hell? But here's the other thing, and I mean, look, do I think that look, the strikes that occurred on Venezuela, I mean, they were good. They were precise, they were quick, and they were accurate, and it was kind of the type of operation you kind of want to run and need. But the problem when you have is that with Venezuela is that if we were to go back in, that could really easily turn into another Vietnam, because you still have a large number of people in Venezuela who are still Chavistas, and they're still, and I mean, they're the communists that still run the country in a sense. I mean, the bureaucracy is still there, which, in order to get Venezuela out of the current system that they're in, you have to kind of leave the bureaucracy there. Otherwise, if you go in like in Iraq, where you just take out the bureaucracy and run it yourself is going to be a total disaster. And again, you still have the Chavistas as well, so that's another issue. But the thing is that the longer we stay down there, the higher of a chance of a Vietnam occurring, going down, or another Iraq, or some other forever war. And that's not something that we can afford. We are cash strapped, and we got a lot of people that are not really pro-war anymore, which I mean, I'm not pro-war either. I don't think we should be going to fucking Kenya like we've been doing recently and blowing up some Kenyans or whatever simply because they're killing Christians. I mean, that's tragic, but that's not our problem.
Yeah,
that it's tragic, 100%. But it's not a problem now. But getting control of our hemisphere, yeah, I agree. I do agree with that, and we need to get control of our hemisphere. We need to restore the Monroe Doctrine, the Teddy Roosevelt Doctrine, which is the invasion of what's it called, Cuba in the 1900s and stuff, in the late 1890s, 1900s. We need to get back to that foreign policy. I agree with that.
I am all on board for imperialism.
Yeah, but in our hemisphere, our hemisphere, though, we don't need to be spread out. We don't need to be spread out in, Ramstein in Germany or any of these other places. Let the Europeans worry about that. That's Russia's hemisphere, not our problem.
Yeah.
Owen Shroyer also put out this poll. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So if there is some involvement with Israel behind the scenes, that does make it more like I wouldn't support that as much, but I think it is cool, like showing dominance in our hemisphere.
Yeah,
like this guy was sending a lot of
Chinese
drugs.
Like that's
yeah, like get him out of here. You're not allowed. I think it's super sweet. Like I thought that was so badass when I heard about it. Like we came in. The next day, I just watched a YouTube video explaining the mission, and for us to go take somebody's dictator, like that is awesome with no deaths. Like, come on, that was badass. But
yeah,
I just think like I see a vision where we get rid of all this bullshit cartel activity, get it out of Mexico, and then. Like, just imagine that. Imagine Mexico with no cartel activity, and then we could actually move down there, set up nice houses everywhere. Like, it would be awesome. And I think that is really I think that's something that we should focus on. Like, we're going to spend all this money fighting foreign wars against Muslim countries, something that's inevitable, but with them. But we can't come over here and bomb all the cartel and make Mexico safe. And then, bro, like we could have so much insane real estate there. Like,
well not only that, but it guarantees our security. It stops all the fucking drugs. I mean, my gosh, how many times has Ohio been in the fucking news? Because, I mean, remember the story, I think this was 2023, maybe 2024, of the 2 Ohio State students thinking that they were taking a couple of Adderalls or something, and it was laced with fentanyl, and they dropped dead right before the final exams. I mean, my gosh. I mean, it's literally like, our security at stake here.
Yeah.
And that's really the big issue. So MTG has been in the news a lot lately, saying that she is not in a cult. She is not, with these bootlickers and stuff, saying everything's great. And this is her latest response so far on CNN, talking about how it's concerning seeing what's going on with the Trump administration. Take a look at this.
President today when it comes to what's next for Venezuela and just defending this decision overall. He told NBC News, quote, MAGA loves it. MAGA loves what I'm doing. MAGA loves everything I do. MAGA is me. You voted for this president 3 times. Is this what you voted for?
Not only did I vote for the president 3 times, I was one of the few Republicans that stood by him early on when the rest of the Republicans turned their back on him. I also campaigned all over the country for him and attended many of those rallies where the campaign promises were no more foreign wars, no more regime change, and putting the American people first. Caitlin, those are the things that I believe on and have stood on in principle, not only in principle, but by actions as well. I never voted to fund Ukraine. I never voted to fund any of the foreign wars, and I worked hard to get rid of foreign aid and funding foreign governments and foreign people. That's what I believe in. However, it is concerning to see what's happening and the direction that the Trump administration is moving in. We can say, thankfully, that Maduro has been arrested. We can say we're happy for the Venezuelan people, but we can also look to all the regime changes before in Iraq and Libya and Syria. And we said the same things for the people of those countries. But then we watch those countries fall into turmoil and civil war, and we watch the rise of ISIS and terrorism, and we watch U.S. troops remain in those countries for a very long time, and many flag-draped coffins come home. And that's what many Americans don't want to see happen.
Right on. Right on. Dude, MTG
Those are
is
some good points.
Yeah. Here's Mike Adams, the health ranger over at Brighton News, talking about silver right here. This I was teeing this off earlier when I was talking about Gage. Silver just tapped $81 for those of you tracking the situation. An analyst from Bank of America also said yesterday, covered by Kitco, that his target price range for silver is now $135 to $309 per ounce, driven primarily by unprecedented industrial demand. This is essentially what I've already concluded and have been sharing publicly for months. Silver most certainly to hit $100 by the end of the year, to hit $100 this year, which I'll tell you this, with silver, I think by the summer, we're going to be blasting over $100 an ounce. And it could reach 200 by sometime in 2027 when Samsung's new battery manufacturing facility comes online, assuming it isn't significantly delayed. Those who save in silver and gold are going to do well. Those who save in fiat currency are going to be destroyed. Excellent points.
100%.
Yeah.
And those that invest in Bitcoin are going to get cooked.
It's really starting to look like that, because here's the problem. When you follow the trends with Bitcoin, it seems to follow the trends of the stock market. Okay. And right now the stock market is a very volatile place to be in. Same with the real estate market, but I mean that's also a bubble in itself. Almost kind of. There is some interconnectivity with that, but not as much as cryptocurrencies. And I see Trump every time he's talking about the economy. He's like, "Oh, everything's great. The stock market's way up." I'm like, Trump, it's a bubble. It's cooked numbers. And the fact of the matter is, especially when you look at, guys, our generation of stuff, do you know how good it would be for a crash to occur for people like us? I mean, that opens up the housing market, that opens up the stock market.
Yeah.
For a lot of younger people, it really does. And the thing is that you got a lot of these boomers and bootlickers and stuff that are clinging to everything, clinging to their inflated prices and stuff because they don't want to let it go. And
all
I'm
the
just
damn
sitting here
boomers.
and it's like, sorry, boomers, you got to let things crash and reset, or you're going to have a French Revolution on your hands.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. I mean, look at this. I mean, here's Trump, kissing ass to Lindsey Graham. What? Everything's great, and I'm going to support Lindsey Graham. Have you lost your freaking mind?
I can't hear you again.
Okay. Drop out, come back in. Which is fine, actually, because that way I can go ahead and just Hey, Sutton, I saw that. I'll pop it up later. Let me get actually here we go. There we go. You back on?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, speaking of which, you came right on time. Here's our friend Gage Sutton, the guy with the blonde hair. Who's the queer in the hat, Cole?
Who the hell is Gage Sutton?
Big tall guy with big head of blonde hair, nice beard though. But friend of the show. Lindsey Graham.
Well, he sounds like a faggot.
He's really deep into it,
He's very gay.
All right, folks, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Venezuela, really get into the deep analysis onto that. If you haven't done so yet, ladies and gentlemen, thealexjonestore.com/Pine Island. I'm going to pull it up here one sec. Get this shown to you guys. 47% off extended sale right now at thealexjonestore.com/Pine Island. Best Patriot apparel you won't find anywhere else. Methylene blue now in stock. Laser focus precision energy you won't get anywhere else. Beef tallow now in stock. You can get your own beef tallow for cooking right now at thealexjonestore.com. And we also have methylene blue beef tallow that's really good for your skin and really helps supercharge healing. All available at thealexjonestore.com. And of course, we got your quality Leering Center t-shirt. You can find that as well there. Some great Patriot apparel and hoodies you won't find anywhere else. And Ultimate Power now in stock at thealexjonestore.com. All right, we're going to break, folks. And when we come back, we're going to get into the deep dive with Venezuela, talk about all that, and we're going to figure out what's all coming up next right here at Pine Island Live. We'll be right back. Y'all just stay with us.
I gotta hop off.
From the tip of the spear to the edge of tomorrow, here's what's happening next with your host, Cole Dodson.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, back live here with you tonight on Pine Island Live. Cole Dodson here with you once again. Coming to you from the Pine Island World Headquarters located deep in the heart of the Smoky Mountains, transmitting worldwide. And, of course, we have the latest news right here for you. So let's go ahead and get into this Venezuela stuff. A lot of moving parts on that. You know, this is a very dangerous situation. Could be another Vietnam if we get a little too crazy. But so far, Trump has been managing it very nicely. Not a lot of complaints there. Here's a little bit of a timeline. So when the attacks initially started, Hugo Chavez's tomb and mausoleum was obliterated during the initial attacks, which was pretty cool to see. Here's a list of all the bases that were attacked right here. I'm going to go through this pretty fast, folks, because I'm kind of burning the clock here. I'm only going to be on for the next 55 minutes or so. Once again, if you have questions or comments, make sure you drop them down. Hi, y'all. Military base, air base, Seaport hit in U.S. strikes against Venezuela. Political opposition says, and here are the list of bases: Fuerte Tiuna, La Colata, El Volcan, La Guardia, Port, which you got the main military base in Caracas, the main air base in Caracas, a signal antenna for the military, and a seaport on the Caribbean coast. This was the announcement he made after the attacks. President Trump announced U.S. forces carried out a successful strike against Venezuela and captured Nicolas Maduro. We got that. But there is a lot of consternation with the attacks that occurred. Ulfa Randall posted this. See that thing we just did to Venezuela? That's what I want done to Minneapolis, Seattle, Sacramento, Austin, Boise, Columbus, Detroit, Madison, Nova, Raleigh, Atlanta, Lewiston, and Chicago, which he's right. We need to have this stuff done. Why aren't we prioritizing American interests? Why aren't we prioritizing America? And that's really the big problem here is that, look, I understand we need to get control of our hemisphere. We need to kick the Russians and the Chinese out, but we have problems here domestically in this country, and they are not being taken care of or handled in the proper manner. Here's President Trump's response to the initial attacks in Venezuela. Take a look.
It just was the right time to do it. We had to do it because it's a war.
we're losing 300,000 people a year. We don't lose that much in a war. Okay, if you look, and we had to do it. But he was in a house that was more like a fortress than a house. It had steel doors. It had what they call a safety space, where it's, solid steel all around. He didn't get that space closed. He was trying to get into it, but he got bum rushed so fast that he didn't get into that. We were prepared. We had, massive blowtorches and everything else that you need to get through that steel, but we didn't need it. He didn't make it to that area of the house. It just was the right time to do it. We had to do it because it's a war. We're losing 300,000 people a year. We don't lose that much in a war. Okay, if you look, and we had to do it. But he was in a house that was more like a fortress than a house. It had steel doors. It had what they call a safety space, where it's, solid steel all around. He didn't get that space closed. He was trying to get into it, but he got bum rushed so fast that he didn't get into that. We were prepared. We had, massive blowtorches and everything else that you need to get through that steel, but we didn't need it. He didn't make it to that area of the house. It just was the right time to do it. We had to do it because it's a war. We're losing 300,000 people a year. We don't lose that much in a war. Okay, if you look, and
the strikes were successful, but the quagmire here is the potential for a new Vietnam. And, things in Venezuela are deteriorating rather fast now that Maduro is out. President Trump has sent a warning to the governments of Mexico, Cuba, and Colombia that their countries could be next per Axios. And not only that, but he's got a meeting set up with Gustavo Petro coming up shortly to hopefully stabilize Colombia very quickly. I hope so. Here's a video of Maduro and his wife being hauled into the jail cell when the strikes occurred back on January 2nd. So there's that. There's his wife, and then there's Maduro getting lifted up, that big, tall SOB. Here's Marco Rubio's response to everything. Take a look.
Is the United States now at war with Venezuela?
There's not a war. I mean, we are at war against drug trafficking organizations. It's not a war against Venezuela. We are enforcing American laws with regards to oil sanctions. We have sanctioned entities. We go to court. We get a warrant. We seize those boats with oil, and that will continue. We would continue to reserve the right to take strikes against drug boats that are bringing drugs towards the United States, that are being operated by transnational criminal organizations, including the Cartel de los Sols. Of course, the leader of that cartel, is now in U.S. custody and facing U.S. justice in the Southern District of New York, and that's Nicolas Maduro. So we made a big progress in that regard.
Is the United States now at war with Venezuela?
War on drugs. War on drugs. Here's Christy Noam.
And then, well, we have to bring him to justice, and then absolutely he will face the consequences for his crimes. But let's remember, Jillian, that what has happened, thousands and thousands of Tren de Aragua members have come into this country and perpetuated crimes. We have brought them to justice. We've arrested them. We've gotten them out of the country as well, sent them back to Venezuela. We're going to continue deporting criminals to face the consequences in their country. And that's our hope, is that we can continue to do this action now that President Trump has addressed Maduro and his wife and brought them to justice. And we'll continue to go after the other individuals named in this indictment. We have lost millions of American lives because of the drug trafficking that they have perpetuated on our people. And it's so interesting to watch people defend those criminals, these dictators, these individuals that, Maduro was not a credible elected leader in Venezuela. And to watch individuals go out and protest and make threats on his behalf is unspeakable. And so this is a time when our country really will find out
who loves America, who wants the freedoms and liberties that our country represents, and how they're willing to stand up and to defend it like President Trump is.
Following up on a
I don't know about you guys, but that sounded more like lip service to me. You know, I don't know. I'm just over Fox. Thomas Massey put out this response after the attacks, and I think this is worth a read here. It's not American oil, it's Venezuelan oil. Oil companies are entered into risky deals to develop oil, and the deals were canceled by a prior Venezuelan government. What's happening? Lives of U.S. soldiers are being risked to make those oil companies, not America, more profitable. Very true. Very true. Sorry, just got a text message from our producer Nolan. He is currently monitoring everything right now on the back end. David DeCamp put this out. This is a good point. Just like H.W. Bush kicked the Vietnam syndrome, this Trump administration is trying to get rid of the U.S.'s public aversion to overseas intervention by causing disasters caused by the disasters in Afghanistan and Iraq. Sorry, guys, I'm a little tired here. We ain't gonna be on much longer. But anyways, and Liam McCullough is talking about how the Iran and Venezuela operations are intended to shake the Afghanistan syndrome, just like the invasion of Grenada, and the Gulf War were designed to shake the Vietnam syndrome. Trump campaigned on new wars, but unfortunately, that promise seems to have been broken. The Trump administration made the final decision to abduct Nicolas Maduro after he wouldn't stop dancing in public, according to the New York Times. Okay. Here's Trump talking about Colombia and all the other countries he's planning on attacking. Take a look.
Colombia is very sick too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States, and he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
What does that mean? He's not going to be doing it very long.
He's not doing it very long. He has cocaine mills and cocaine factories. He's not going to be doing it very long.
So there will be an operation by the U.S. and
it sounds good to me.
Secretary Rubio mentioned Cuba yesterday.
Kill a lot of people, yeah.
Secretary Rubio mentioned Cuba yesterday in his remarks. Does the U.S. have a plan to do similar action in Cuba?
Because of Venezuela. Now they won't have that money coming in. They won't have the income coming in. You know, a lot of Cubans were killed yesterday. You know that. A lot of Cubans were killed.
Do you know how many? Does the administration know?
But there was a lot of death on the other side. No death on our side. But there was a lot of death on the other side, unfortunately. But a lot of Cubans were killed yesterday, trying to protect him.
There's been protesters killed in Iran. You said we were locked and loaded, ready to go. What is the line there for when the U.S. is going to get involved in those protests?
We'll take a look. We're watching it very closely. If they start killing people like they have in the past, I think they're going to get hit very hard by the United States.
Is that
something? So when he
They're going to be hit very fast. Yes, Mr. President, we hear you on that. Here's Trump talking about Greenland. Take a look.
Greenland in about 2 months. Let's talk about Greenland in 20 days.
On Venezuela, we talk so much about energy.
By the way, I will say this about Greenland. We need Greenland from a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you.
What would the justification
to boost up security in Greenland? They added one more dog sled. It's true. They thought that was a great move.
What would the justification be for a claim to Greenland? What would the justification be?
I just say this. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And the European Union needs us to have it, and they know that.
I think there's some confusion that the operation in Venezuela will affect your relationship with Xi Jinping and China.
No, I don't think so. I have a very good relationship. We have the power of tariffs, and he has other powers on us.
Are you still planning to travel to see him in April?
Yeah, I'll be going in.
Well, Denmark is threatening to go to war with us over Greenland. And not only that, but it seems as though Greenland is actually starting to become a bit of a no bueno situation. Here is Trump talking about how we're not in the business of nation building. Take a look.
Back in 2016, and I remember your RNC speech, and you were saying that regime change and nation building.
Where?
When you were speaking at the RNC back in 2016, you were criticizing regime change and nation building, the U.S. being involved in that. It seems obviously that your stance has changed on that. What led to that? And is the U.S. nation building now? Is that
this isn't a country that's on the other side of the world? This isn't a country like where you have to travel 24 hours in an airplane. This is Venezuela. It's in our area, the Don Road Doctrine.
So is that what you would say, that we're in the business of nation building now?
We're in the business of having countries around us that are viable and successful, and where the oil is allowed to freely come out because that's good. It gets the prices down. That's good for our country. Now, we have a very sick neighbor. It's not a neighbor, but it's close to a neighbor, and that's Venezuela.
Back in 2016, I remember your RNC speech, and you were saying that regime change and nation building.
Where?
When you were speaking at the RNC back in 2016, you were criticizing regime change and nation building, the U.S. being involved in that. It seems obviously that your stance has changed on that. What led to that? And is the U.S. nation building now? Is that
So we're not in the business of nation building, but we are going in and taking out dictators. Okay. Let's see. That's that. Just kind of scrolling through my news here. Here's President Trump talking about how we are now in charge of Venezuela. Listen in.
The next question is, who's in charge of Venezuela right now? Have you spoken to the newly sworn in president there, Rodriguez? And what are your thoughts on the entire situation? You said the U.S. would run Venezuela.
We're dealing with the people. We're dealing with the people that just got sworn in. And don't ask me who's in charge, because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
It means we're in charge.
The next question is, who's in charge of Venezuela right now? Have you spoken to the newly sworn in president?
We're in charge. We're in charge. Okay. Let's get into this last bit of news. We got Bongino having an epic crash out here. He's talking about how he's going to war against all the MAGA grifters and, fake MAGA, which even though MAGA is literally Zombieland as a corpse, it's, dead. So I don't understand, why he thinks he needs to go to war against something that, basically a non-existent organization. But there it is. MAGA's dead. And then this morning, the American government seized a Russian oil tanker leaving Venezuela. I'm sure the Russians are not going to be very happy about that. Here's the latest information on the prices, which you'll notice that gas prices and everything are going down. There it is. Natural gas prices are now down 6%, just 15 minutes after futures opened for the first time since Maduro was captured, and oil prices are back down below $57 a barrel, nearing their lowest level since 2021. In just about all major escalations of geopolitical tension with oil-producing countries, energy prices typically rise, and it's because of the instability, but this one was not that situation. So, and here's the latest out of Caracas, and you can kind of look around and see. So you see those guys with the weapons and stuff. Those are the Chavistas, the communists and stuff that are still mostly in charge of the country right now, along with the military and other paramilitary forces and stuff. But, the removal of Maduro is a very dangerous thing, because if we go back into Venezuela, we could be engaged in another Vietnam with these guerrillas, and that's not going to be a good thing. Venezuela have stopped oil shipments to China since Nicolas Maduro removal. Well, that's all Delcy Rodriguez caving to Trump. So that's all getting interesting. President Trump has deported over 500,000 illegal immigrants in his first year in office. Not good enough. We need like 3 million. Here's the latest out of Iran here. There are some folks, I'm going to tell you right now, and hear me good on this. There are some massive protests going on in Iran that are not really being talked about. And I could tell you this, folks, Iran's about to pop off. And with the Israeli involvement, let me tell you this right now, folks. When you factor in the Israeli involvement and all that stuff, the way I put it, it kind of goes like this. We could be hitting Iran, we as in the United States, probably in the next few days, by the end of the month at least. Because, when you see this stuff right here, that basically tells the Israelis green light. That's not good. Steve Witkoff has announced that they are close to finishing a prosperity agreement for Ukraine, working with BlackRock and the Europeans, who are coming out and announcing that there will be a European force in Ukraine once the peace deal is signed, obviously pissing off the Russians. And I can tell you this, that's not a way to make peace. Here's this clip of Bongino. I'm going to go and play it right here so that way y'all get understand. Kind of getting back on that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to skip that. We don't have time. Dan Bongino's announcing he's declaring war. Yeah, okay. And then Mark Mitchell of Rasmussen reports, this is where politics is going. Republicans can either man up, break some rules, and fix the country, winning for a generation, or younger voters will vote Democrat to burn it all down and continue the cycle. And I'm serious, folks. If the Trump administration doesn't start cracking down real hard, real hot, then let's just say there will be hell to pay. So, okay, folks, we've been on for the last 2.5 hours. I'm ready to sign off. I'm ready to get some food in my system, and I'm ready to get back to what I was originally doing, which was following the news coming out of Minneapolis and all sorts of stuff. If Iran strikes do come, later in the week, we will be giving live coverage for that. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch us here every Wednesday. Great guests. We got, of course, Jake was our inaugural guest back on YouTube. Again, hey, for the first time in a while, we're back on YouTube with a much better, much cleaner setup that I don't think you won't find much in many other places, I should say. See, when I get tired and stuff, and I've been on the air for a couple hours and I've had this freaking light blinding my eyes and my retinas and stuff, I tend to get a little loose with my talking and I spin a little bit. So that's kind of why I need to go ahead and get off the air. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us tonight on this live Wednesday transmission. As always, make sure you guys check us out at thealexjonesstore.com/Pine Island. That's where all our merch is. Don't worry, we're going to get a merch store set up proprietary to Pine Island, so that way you won't have to go through all this middlemen stuff. But I'm telling you right now, in the meantime, best Patriot merch you won't find anywhere else. Best methylene blue, best supplements. Get yourself some Shilajit. Really good for increasing testosterone and really cleaning out the cells. And check us out on YouTube at Pine Island HD, on TikTok at Pine Island HD. We're back on there, full hog, full throttle, gaining numbers, gaining ratings. And just make sure you guys put us out there. Give a word to your friends and family and loved ones. Share the links, share the live feeds as always. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and sign off for the night. And we will be back next week with another hot and heavy and fully loaded broadcast curated just for you. As always, stay with Pine Island. We'll keep you advised. Have a good night.